Okay, y'all, June 7th, 2026, my first video for June. As I told you, I had to take some time off, but I'm back now. This is my part 1 of distractions, mental and physical. Part 2 coming next week. So let's get into part 1 first. Y'all know I always like to have a scripture. So my scripture is Colossians 3:2. Set your mind on things above and not things on earth. And my definition for distraction is any action, noise, or stimulus that pulls your attention away from a primary task or what you originally intended to do, such as goals, values, and tasks. Now, that's like your basic Webster definition. Bible definition is kind of the same. It just says anything that pulls your focus, time, and devotion away from God and His purpose. So, those are our definitions. And then, I take the word and I try to break down every letter. So first, D, destruction, the act of damage, something severely that ceases to exist or cannot be repaired. So distractions can come as destruction. If you are planning to do something, if you had something in the making and a distraction comes along and just destroys the whole thing because you can't focus, you can't do what you need to do to get it done. Number 2, intent, the purpose, goal, mental objective behind an action. The enemy will stop you. The enemy has an intent to stop you from reaching your goals, your purpose, your whatever you have been called to do, whether it's in ministry, a job, whatever it is. The enemy has the intent to stop that. Number 3, because this is probably not going to be a long video, y'all. Number 3, S, sabotage, deliberate, malicious, damage, divert from plans or normal operation. The enemy plays a part in that. And sometimes we can't really blame the enemy for everything, because sometimes we do it ourselves because we're not paying attention. We get distracted. Believe it or not, y'all, this is my third take on this video because I was getting distracted from things that was happening. And I'm like, wow, really? You making a video on distraction and you getting distracted? Point proven right there. T, tempt, to entice, persuade someone of something unwise against better judgment. Our thoughts. When I came to that, our thoughts. The enemy can put thoughts in our minds. We can overthink things that is really not that important. It's for you to overthink it, and just tempt you to mess up the situation that you're trying to handle. Number 5, R, reckless. Rash decisions without thinking. Stinking thinking. Thoughts in your mind. The enemy plotting and planning. The enemy is plotting and planning in your mind. Give you reckless thoughts. Just like this video. 3 takes. And I could have been like, you know what? I'm not going to do it. I can just say, hey, I didn't make it. I didn't do it. Devil is a lie. I'm going to do what I'm supposed to do. Okay. Number 6. A, abort. To terminate a process, action, or mission prematurely. Come on now. I know some people have prematurely aborted a situation, a goal, a plan that they were supposed to do. Because I know I have. I know I have in ministry. I know I have, overthinking, thinking, I can't do that. I'm not going to do that. And I abort what the plan God had for me because I felt in my natural that I could not do it. That's when you got to realize it's not you, it's God. God's got you. He's going to take care of it. Okay. Number 7, contaminate. We know about that. Contaminate to make something impure, unclean, mixing or introducing harmful, undesirable substance, words, emotions, feelings. We can contaminate a lot of stuff. God can lay a plan right out in front of us. And if we have the stinking thinking, as I say, we in our emotions about something, we in our feelings or in our mood or whatever the case is, and we contaminate. We contaminate the whole plan that God has for us. And a lot of times that's what the enemy plans. He plots and he plans to do that for us. So that is number 7. That is our C. Okay, so the next one is number 8. T. Turbulence. Chaotic. Unpredictable. Ups and downs. Emotional unrest, mostly regarding, usually when you hear turbulence, you think of the air, you think of the sea. Turbulence when you on the plane, and that bad boy hits some turbulence and it's rocking and it's moving and you like, what's really happening? Turbulence. That in our lives, things can happen in our lives. Maybe a death in the family, maybe a job situation, maybe a illness, maybe a breakup, maybe something, kids, grandkids, whatever it might be. And then there's some turbulence in there because we shaky. We on shaky ground. Then we like, well, what do I do? What do I do? You better pray. That's one thing you better do. So that's number 8. That's T. Number 9, I. Interruption. Physical, mental. These are physical and mental distractions. Interruption in an event, action, or that temporarily stops, delays activity or process. Interruption. We could have a lot of plans. We could have like, hey, I'm going to come home today. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Or I'm going to go do this weekend. I'm going to go do that. And boom, interruption. And number 10, obstruction. Anything that blocks, hinders, movement, or prevents a process from functioning correctly. Obstruction. We let a lot of things obstruct our view. We have a lot of things that obstruct our mental because we overthinking, thinking. We listening to other people. We are just, in our minds, we letting it run wild, letting it run crazy, not thinking, hey, God brought me to this. He gonna bring me through this. And this is, I know some of it sounds more spiritual, more Bible or whatever, but it's the same for our mental naturally and our physical. And the last one, negativity. Skeptical, downbeat, attitude, habitually, constant, expect the worst, focus on the bad, complaining, criticizing. And let me tell you something, mental distractions, when you are around people that are constantly complaining, constantly criticizing other people, or constantly criticizing you, or even criticizing themselves, that is a mental distraction. It also can be physical. And the reason I say that is because if somebody is constantly in your ear, in your life, on the phone, whatever the case is, that becomes physical because you get tired and you get a headache. You like, I don't want to hear this. I don't want to be bothered. And people don't realize things that you go through mentally can make you sick physically. So it is a physical distraction. And like I said, that was 11 letters and we went through those 11 letters. But I'm going to go back over some things. Like I said, distraction. When it comes to physical, you can have all your stuff, all your ducks in a row, all your plans laid out. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And then somebody comes through and they mess up the whole thing. They come through and mess up your plans that you were going to go somewhere. You was going to do something. You had it all together. So that's a physical distraction. And like I said, it can be the enemy and it can also be us. Okay. Intent. That right there, the enemy intends to mess up every plan that you have mentally, because he'll get in your mind and he'll tell you, you can't do this. You don't have the funds for this. You don't have the right mindset. You don't have the backing. You can't do this. And of course, you can't do anything without God. But you can do all things with God. You can do all things that are possible with God. So I always remember that. And when it comes to the physical intent, sometimes in the physical, we can't move because we're stuck. We're scared. It's a tactic that, oh no, you can't fly on the plane because you're scared. You can't get on the plane because you've never flown before. You're scared. I know my first time flying, I was scared, but now I hop on a plane in a heartbeat. The mental, it's all in your mind. It's a war game in your mind. Okay. Sabotage. People can sabotage your plans. Like, sometimes you can tell people, hey, I'm going to go do this and I'm going to go do that. And you want to come with me or whatever the case is. And they go with you and they ruin the whole moment. They done sabotaged your whole plan. Dinner, movie, event, whatever it is. They done sabotaged it because that last word that I had on there, negativity. I don't like that kind of food. I don't want that. This ain't good. They complaining to the waitress, a waiter. They don't want to go to the restaurant you going to. They don't want to be there with somebody else that you might have there. Sabotage. Tempt. You can have everything written down in order to the T. Dot the I's, cross the T's, and the enemy will get in your head. Oh no, that's not good enough. You should have wrote something else. You should have said something else. You need to change that. Tempting you to change what you need to have. If you've written it down, God has already given it to you. Like I said yesterday in my video, stating that I had one coming today. It blessed me as I was writing it because we so busy in life that we don't really sit down and think about things. Truly, we do not. I am guilty because there's a lot of times that I am really, really busy and I don't just really sit down and think about the simple things like this. A lot of times we go through mental and physical distractions and don't even realize it. The spirit of discernment has not kicked in and let you know. You just let them distract you. They just messed you up. You just bumped yourself out of a trip. They distracted you physically, that you telling you, oh, well, that it's going to rain and you shouldn't do this. You shouldn't travel and you shouldn't do that. That right there, reckless. Sometimes we mess our own selves up. We go ahead of God, first of all. Our stinking thinking. We make rash decisions. God tell us to go left, we go right. So, reckless thoughts. Abort plans. Y'all, I wrote one book. I started writing a second book. I aborted that plan for a minute. I aborted it for a minute and then I was like, should I really write this book? Because this book is like a tell-all book. This book is going to have some people in it. Even if I don't use their names, they will know who they are if they read this book. And so I was going to be like, I can't do that to people. And then I was like, what? God told you to write this book. Because it's not about you telling on people. It's not about you telling on yourself. You better not abort this mission because this mission is going to help someone else. So that right there, try to prematurely abort that plan. The book is coming. It's just going to take a while because like I said, this is a tell-all book. This is a book from childhood to adulthood. And if you don't know, I'm about to be 57 years old. I'm proud of my age. So it's going to be a long book if I tell everything in life. And when I say tell all, it's not like a bad thing. It's just the fact of I'm telling you my life story from the day my mother passed away at the age of 10 to now 57 years old. So if the Lord let me see it in August. Contaminate. We can let somebody be talking to us and we be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna get this, I'm gonna get that. And they start talking in our ear and contaminate everything that we had already planned. Mental, physical. Because the physical is you're listening, you're letting them talk in your ear. The mental is you just let them talk you out of what you're supposed to be doing. Okay, the turbulence, the chaos. Why do we even allow that to happen? You know, what women are very emotional. We are very emotional creatures. Most men don't understand that. We go through a lot of different phases in life. Turbulence is like rocky. You good one moment, you bad the next moment. Chaotic things are happening on the job. Chaotic things are happening in the family. Chaotic things might be happening with your health. Mental in your mind has taken over your body physically. Interruption. Interrupting an event. As I said, I was already writing. I was 2 chapters in that book. And I let the interruption come to temporarily stop me physically from writing the book. So that mental distraction was, you can't do that. You know, that you can't write that. You can't tell that. That was the mental. Then the physical is because, boom, I stopped. I stopped writing the book. Obstruction. Anything that blocks movement, prevents process, function correctly. I let the thoughts of other people, of how they may feel or how they may think, obstruct my book writing. God would not have given it to me to do if he didn't want me to do it. So that was the obstruction. The obstruction mentally and physically. Negativity. My God, yes, oh God. Negative people be making me wanna. And I know that you can't be that way, especially when you're a Christian, because everybody's not where you are. So we still have to love. We still have to give the grace. And sometimes I may find my own self complaining, and then I get mad at myself because I'm like, what are you complaining about? Look at your life. God has been good to you. So what are you complaining about? But you do have to watch being in bad company. Not that you better than anybody else. So please don't ever think that. Please never think you better than anybody else. You better humble yourself and humble yourself quickly, because if you don't, God gonna do it for you. Trust and believe. Which I don't think I've ever been that way. I hope and pray that I never have. I hope and pray I've never hurt anybody like that. But negativity can take a toll on your health as well, because like I said, you got all that negative coming in your ear. It's polluting your body, your spirit, and you like, oh God, I can't deal with it. And not just from other people, not just from the job, not just from road rage driving down the street. Negativity is pollution, and it will tear up your spirit. I have been in some places and my spirit was like, you got to get up out of here. You can't take this. I'm like, I know I got to go. I can't handle this. This is too much. But as I said, we have mental and we have physical distractions. Hopefully this has blessed somebody, because it's blessed me. And like I said, I've read over it several times, because when you are so busy in life, you really don't think. You really do not think about things that are happening. You really do not take a look at things that are happening. And again, mental and physical. Set your mind on things above and not on this earth, because this world is just a mental distraction already. And the mental turns into physical, because you looking at everything that's happening. You know, I don't want to say certain things because I don't want to get my video in trouble or myself. But you know, you're looking at things, y'all can read between the lines. Y'all looking at things that are taking place and like, what? So then when it's mental to you, then you get to stressing and you get to worrying about it. And now, my heart hurting. I'm stressed out. My blood pressure up, all of that. You better set your things on things above and not on this earth, because this going to pass away anyway. So I'm hoping and praying that this has blessed somebody the way that it has blessed me. I don't come to you unless God gives you something. And he gave me the word distraction, and I'm like, distraction? What am I do with that? And then as I kept sitting there, I was like, yeah, okay, I got it. All right. So then I jumped up, I got my tablet, I started writing, then I got stuck. I got an interruption because the mind stopped. And then I kept sitting there, and I was like, think about it. Think about it. Keep going. Read what you've written. And then I was like, all right, it's flowing. It's flowing. And just know you can do all things through Christ Jesus who strengthens you. So I'm telling you, don't give up. Don't give in. Rock your calling, as my shirt says. Whatever your calling is, I always take it to God first. I'm one of those people, I tell y'all, I'm a very transparent person. I'm one of those people that I really didn't think about it before I did it. I just did it. But now you better be careful on what you do, what you say. I always take it to God. I always take it to God in prayer before you jump out there and do what you do. We had a very good Sunday school lesson. Then I left my service and went to another service for Family and Friends Day. Had an awesome time. And just every day is a great day. As I tell people all the day, every day is a day of Thanksgiving. I tell them all the time, be grateful, because there is somebody out there that's worse off than you that would love to be in your shoes. So please, if you don't know the Lord, get to know the Lord. Call on him. Pray however you need to pray or you want to pray. It don't have to be a long, drawn out prayer. You can just say, Jesus, help me, and he will answer. So y'all, that's part 1 of mental and physical distractions. Coming next week is part 2. Part 2 is going to be more biblical, because there are some things that I do want to read and discuss on part 2. I am only doing what God had called me to do. I'm still not all that savvy with YouTube. This is not monetary. I don't get money for these videos. I'm not trying to. I'm trying to help and bless somebody else, because unfortunately, in my young life, I didn't really have anybody to help me or bless me. So a lot of things I learned in trial and error. So I'm hoping to bless someone else if possible. So I pray that you all have a beautiful and blessed rest of this Sunday. Y'all done had some good food. I gotta go find some stuff to do so that I don't get lazy. But again, to all my subscribers, thank you. I thank you with my whole heart. I don't do anything from the bottom of my heart. You can't do something with the bottom of your heart, because that's half your heart. Thank you to all my subscribers, to the old ones, to any new ones that I don't know, anyone that will come now after this. I thank you. If you have any comments, please feel free to put it in your comments down there. I do go back and periodically read. I saw a comment from somebody that I didn't know, and I didn't respond because that didn't look like it was a good comment. I mean, it wasn't a bad comment, but that looked like something that was more on a personal level that I wasn't going to entertain. But if you have any, questions, comments, anything you might want me to discuss, I'm going to take it to God first. If you want to do a live with me, because we can also do YouTube live, or I can just do a live and you can come on and talk to me while I'm on the live. Again, this is my first video back in June. I'm going to try to keep them going. I thank God for each and every one of you. And hey, I'm just a normal person who loves the Lord. If you have my email or anything that you want to email me, it's out there. I'm on Instagram and I'm on Facebook. I got off TikTok. So on Facebook, I'm Tanya Phillips. On Instagram, I'm MBL_45. Y'all have a beautiful and blessed day. Bye.